Hey all, Dominic here again, welcome back to another video. I hope everyone's been doing well by the way, and I hope you're all having a nice week so far. So today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about something Doctor Who related. As I'm actually going to be talking about a specific subject I've actually been thinking about a lot lately. About a specific mystery that, obviously, that mystery did get resolved. And I thought, do you know what, I want to talk about it because I think it's interesting to look back on, so it is. So today I'm actually going to be looking back on when the 8th Doctor's regeneration was still a mystery. Now, obviously we did get the ending of the 8th Doctor. Obviously we did get his regeneration story or regeneration scene in the minisode The Night of the Doctor. Which obviously when that came out, it was a big deal because not only did we get the return of the 8th Doctor on screen by the great man himself, Paul McGann, but we also got to see his Doctor regenerate, which was a really, really big thing at the time because his Doctor never had the proper ending, and it was always one of those things that made people think, what caused his Doctor to regenerate? But there was a time before that where that was a big mystery, and people always ask that same question: what caused the 8th Doctor to regenerate? And for a long time, that question was never, ever answered, obviously until 2013. But when Doctor Who did return on screen in 2005 with the 9th Doctor, we did learn about the story arc, about the whole Time War thing that happened, and obviously learning that the Doctor was the one that obviously, killed everyone during the Time War with the moment, and obviously sort of, suffered with those actions, obviously destroying everyone. And obviously he was worried that he couldn't, turn back the clock and, bring everyone back. And with that, the mystery always, the theory I should say, always kept coming around about the 8th Doctor was the one that fought in the Time War, killed everyone, obviously with the moment, and regenerated into the 9th Doctor. That was a thing a lot of people always believed in, and obviously I did as well. But I think people always wanted the bigger story behind that, because obviously we never had an on-screen regeneration of the 8th Doctor changing into the 9th Doctor. And I think when you look back at that, that 9-year gap, after the TV movie, but before the new series, it always made people think what happened during that time? What actually happened during that time? You know what I mean? And there were different theories that came out and everything. And I do remember a lot of people making fan-made regenerations on YouTube, in 2007, 2008, even 2009. And it was just one of those things that was really interesting to watch. I know a lot of the early stuff was sort of an image of the 8th Doctor, and obviously regeneration, energy, and obviously an image of the 9th Doctor. That's what it was. But I remember a lot of them later on, it felt like it was the real deal. It was that good. It was just amazing to see an almost proper regeneration. Pardon me. It felt like it was a proper regeneration of the 8th Doctor. It was that good. And yeah, it was interesting to look at it during that time, because like I said, it was something a lot of people were very passionate about, because when you look back, every past incarnation had their regeneration, except for the current actor to play the role. And it always made me think, why hasn't the 8th Doctor had that? You look at it, even when David Tennant was, playing the Doctor, I thought, well, Doctors 1 through 7 have had their regeneration, and the 9th Doctor's regenerated. But what about the 8th Doctor? Why don't we have that? And it was just one of those things that made people think, why isn't there one? You know what I mean? And like I said, it's just funny when you look back. I remember when you look back at the late 2000s, the early 2010s, the 8th Doctor, especially with the general public, when it came to Doctor Who, the 8th Doctor was always the most forgotten. So it was, because I feel he was in the TV movie, and then that was it. And a lot of people used to say that, Paul McGann's bad and everything, blah blah blah, the movie sucks, blah blah blah. And I do understand that the TV movie has its fans. There are people that love it, and a lot of people that don't like it. And I understand. I think at the time, it probably was different, coming off from 26 years of Doctor Who, and then going into this TV movie that's quite Americanized and stuff. And I understand a lot of people saw it a little bit you know, weird and different and stuff. But like I said, it's got its fans and, you know, it's got its haters. So it has. But obviously, I don't think the TV movie was that bad. Yeah, it's just a bit, you know, weird in its own ways and stuff. But I think when you look back at the Eighth Doctor, it was amazing in it. It really, really was. And after almost 25 years, people still say the same thing about Paul McGann needs to come back. We need an on-screen series with the Eighth Doctor. And I think that'd be absolutely awesome. You know what I mean? But I just don't think it'll happen, which is a big shame. It really, really is. But I think people always, you know, say that about the TV movie and I think the Eighth Doctor because the TV movie flopped in America. The ratings were just not that good. And obviously Fox had no more interest. So after that, they ended up giving the rights back to the BBC and that was it. You know what I mean? Which is a real shame because I feel like the Eighth Doctor is an underrated incarnation, which I wish that we saw more on screen. But there's 20 plus years worth of big finish Doctor Who with the Eighth Doctor, you know what I mean? And that's a really, really good thing. But yeah, as I said, like, the Eighth Doctor was always, like, most forgotten by the general public, which is a shame, you know what I mean? Because I remember watching a quiz show one Saturday, I think, like, back in 2010, 2011, called Pointless. And obviously in this quiz show, you got to try and, you know, name answers that less people answered. Because they do like a survey, and the less points you win, the less points you get, obviously you win that, so you do. But I remember this one episode I watched, which was the final question, or the final round, which was about Doctor Who, and it was to name 3 actors who played the role. And Paul McGann was not mentioned. And that just shows you, like, the general public of, you know, forgetting about the Eighth Doctor, which is quite sad, you know what I mean? It really, really is. But I feel like when The Night of the Doctor aired, or when it came on, I feel like there was that interest in the Eighth Doctor grew. It really, really did, because, well, one, we got a new episode of the Eighth Doctor on screen, but we also got to use Regeneration, which, again, was a big deal back in 2013. It really, really was. Especially for an overlooked incarnation that never got to have that ending during its proper run. You know what I mean? I think to finally get that 17 years later was a big deal. And after 7 years since The Night of the Doctor aired, it is still a great story. Even though it's 7 minutes long, it is still an awesome story. It really, really is. And I feel like for the Eighth Doctor to finally get that, and I feel like for the man himself, Paul McGann, to return on screen was a big deal. It really, really was. You know what I mean? It just a big thing at the time that honestly the actor bloody deserved. You know what I mean? To finally get that proper ending of his Doctor was a bloody great thing. You know what I mean? It really, really was, and I still love it. I really, really do. And yeah, it was a good thing. You know what I mean? When it came on, it was, and I think it made everyone happy. And I think not only, you know, for classic fans, but I think for new fans as well. It was a big deal for an incarnation that was always overlooked to finally get the ending he deserved. You know what I mean? It was amazing. It really, really was. And yeah, big deal. It was amazing. It just was. You know what I mean? And I think that made everyone happy. It really, really did. So yeah. But yeah, I didn't mean to get passionate like that at the end of it, but it just, yeah, I think I think it was just a nice thing for Doctor Who as a whole. You know what I mean? Like, to finally get that happening, you know, to finally, you know, get that story. It was just amazing. It really, really was. So yeah. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and stuff. I'd love to hear your thoughts about that. You know, did you ever think we'd ever get the 8th Doctor's regeneration? You know, did you think that it was going to be ignored forever? I'd love to hear your thoughts about that. So yeah. So I just want to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope you all have a nice weekend. And I'll see you all on Tuesday. So thanks for watching all. Bye.